Do you know what this is? This is a very simple tool that will radically change the way you think about your health practice. You know, it's such a simple idea. It's been around for a long time. It's well tested. It's based in absolute rigorous science. It's based in physics, resonance, and reconnecting. And why is that important for therapists? Well, because often when we meet our clients, we're reading their symptoms based on our knowledge or understanding. We're based on what we've learned from someone else, or from a book, or from our experience. And our experiences teach us a great deal. But when you put one of these in the hands of a professional therapist, then suddenly we can reach deeper, we can reach further, and we can reach into the hidden signals carried in our clients' bodies. Now, isn't that an exciting prospect? I've been a professional therapist for 40 years, and for the last 20 of those, I've been using a Lecher antenna in my practice. I'm an ACMOS method practitioner, and I'm a teacher of the ACMOS method. But you know what? This tool changed my life. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. The week before I got married, I was diagnosed with a lymphoma. And after treatment for the lymphoma, I had chronic fatigue for 8 years. 8 long, gruesome years. And I lost my job at the local hospital. And just after I'd recovered, after those 8 years were up, I was off all the checkups and everything. I was cured. And suddenly, I was called back to the hospital. Sadly, we have to tell you that you're now at risk of developing another cancer in the area of treatment, and that the risks are as high as 1 in 4. Now, I had radiation treatment from the tip of my chin to my diaphragm and out to both sides. So there are lots of structures in that area, and I most certainly didn't want to embrace another cancer. So I started to look at more widely, and I started to look for something that would improve my own health. I've always had an interest in Chinese medicine. I was using acupuncture before I came across the ACMOS method, and I come from a physical health background in physiotherapy. So anatomy, physiology, pathology, I know a lot about all that stuff. I've been working with clients for a long time and became more and more intuitive. And I worked with a group of physiotherapists in energy medicine. And we were really exploring the cutting edge. Where is that line between what is hidden in the body and how emotions and senses and feeling is linked with physical health problems? And we had some really great conferences over the last 30 years plus. So where does this fit in? It's like the guidebook. It's like it's like having someone take your hand and lead you through the process. You can read energy. That's important. So you have a baseline. As well as reading energy, you can also change energy. You can transform it. You can send the signal that's weak in that person's body or energetics, and you can ask them to tune in with it. For example, I've just set my antenna on 8. Almost, there we go. 8 tunes in with the resonance of the earth. 8 calms, soothes, nurtures. And so being able to do that with our clients before we even start our therapy session, to make sure that our clients are connected with their earth connection. They're connected with the cosmic force, the force of sunlight, that force that's extra strong at the moment because of the solar flares, because the sun is in a very active spell. The sun has an 11-year cycle, and every 11 years we have a period when there are more solar flares, and we're in one of those at the moment. And of course that makes the world a hotter place, doesn't it? So how can we help people to cope with that change in the energetics of the environment around us? Well, we do it in a multitude of different ways, but really the key to open all those locks is the Lecher antenna. It unlocks the information held in your clients' bodies and gets it out there so that it can be used, so that it can release where the information is no longer required, and where it can be strengthened where the signals and the natural signals of life are weak. So this antenna has become like my third arm. It really has become my best friend. And I had an experience where I was taking steroid medication. I was prescribed it for 2 to 3 weeks, and I was still on it 7 years later. It's a small dose just to support my adrenal function after the chronic fatigue. It was supposed to be a boost, but I was never able to come off it until I had 1 ACMOS balance on a course, the first of my exposure to ACMOS. I really wasn't fully engaged with the course. I went along because of the Chinese medicine component, but I wasn't really convinced that this was for me, because my medical brain was going, well, how can you say that? How can you prove that? You're making statements that maybe can't be backed up by science. Now, what do I mean by science? Well, I've come to see science as a snapshot in time. It's kind of like a photograph of what we absolutely know now. But what about all the things that we know that aren't quite as simple as being proven in a way that would satisfy a scientist? So physics is the science, the natural science, which underpins the use of the Lecher antenna. And that's why I love it. It makes sense to me. It fits with my understanding and my knowledge, and it fits with Chinese medicine and anatomy when you tie them all together. That's what I found really exciting, to be able to bring all these bits and pieces together in a really exciting way, a really engaging way, to use a lot of metaphors. My clients love it when I talk to them in metaphors, and my students love it too, because it brings home that we can look at things in a different way. When we're a 3-year-old, we're not thinking, I wonder how we could prove that. We're thinking, why? How does that work? Why does that do that? It's exciting, it's innovative. Oh, wow, I'm interested. Our minds don't look for proof until we've been taught to look for proof. And proof is not a bad thing, absolutely not. But we have years and years of experience and masses of anecdotal evidence that supports the use. And the gentleman that I learned from my mentor, he was awarded the Society of Progress Gold Medal in France in 2010. Now, no other non-medical doctor has been presented with that level of award for innovation in the arena of health. René Nakashian was my mentor. He was a father figure to me, and he was my friend. So when he passed, I felt a really strong obligation to continue his work, to continue his teachings, and to bring that out to the world. And so nowadays, I do run some course programs, and I do offer some free information. I run some healing sessions where we do group healing, and I also work individually face-to-face with clients. I believe that the best teachers are those who do and teach, not just those who teach. So there's lots of things going on here, isn't there? I'm not getting my message across terribly well, and that's because it's really hard to promote yourself, isn't it? Here I am, a housewife from Inverness in the north of Scotland. I have 2 children. They are in their early 20s. I have a collie dog that I love to walk, and I run my business from home. I see my clients on Zoom, and I run my classes on Zoom. So I can transfer my business to wherever I am. I'm not tied anymore to the house, although I do find that when I'm away, I like to be either away to work or away on holiday. I don't like to drag everything with me. So most of my work is done from this office space here. And I'm supposed to have certificates and pictures on the wall to show how clever I am. But you know what, I've just never been one for displaying that. I've got a folder full of certificates downstairs. I've got all sorts of courses that I have attended over years and years. And, I don't think that proves that I'm clever. I think that intelligence and wisdom comes from within. So what do I do? With my clients, I see myself as a facilitator. I'm not the healer. My clients heal themselves. I simply help them to find a way. And I actually think that my job is more to translate. So I translate what they're experiencing. I translate what their body tells me when I measure and when I adjust using the Lecker antenna. I make sure that they understand the pathway that their energy body is taking to try to resolve some of its hidden blocks. And those pathways are wide and varied. So we have protocols and that we follow that lead us through the process. We have charts for measuring. Here we go. Quick flash at that one. We have a series of kind of flow charts that we follow through a process. We have pages and pages and pages. We have stimulation points that we use for the energy point stimulation. So we've got a fusion here. We've got the environmental protocol for working out what aspects of the person's living circumstances are interfering with their energy. And we use colours at the end of our process in order to help the body to cleanse itself. Because when you create work in the energy body, it creates work in the structure. Because energy is not something sort of fluffy and furry around us. Energy is within us. It's in our cells. It's part of us. Without it, we wouldn't be here. Without the structure, we wouldn't be here either. So we are a fusion of energy and structure. We have the potential energy, the yin energy, the possibilities that came into life at the moment of conception, the moment of nuclear fusion. And then we have the kinetic energy, the working energy, the doing energy from our bodies, our systems, our organs, our cells. They're all working, working, working. And work requires energy. And so what do we do through the ACMOS method? Well, we're led by the antenna through the protocols into the different ranges of remedies. Let's take this over a little bit and show you this is one of my test kits. Lots of little bits and pieces that we can use. And each of those remedies means something. So we can translate what the body's saying by the remedies it chooses. And then what do we do with the remedies? Well, this is where it's really cutting edge and innovative. We transfer the information from the remedy into the acupuncture point using the antenna. Now that is absolutely cutting edge. The body gets the information it needs instantly. It's like putting a fuse into a fuse box and resetting the fuse. And anything downstream of that block will then be able to recalibrate or repair itself. So this is an exciting method. I mean, really exciting. I feel like I came back to life when I found it. I had lost my job in the health service because of my health, and I was looking for something wider. But my motivation to start with was to protect my own health. And here I am, 30 years later. I'm still here. Let you into a secret, I'm going to be 60. Seems very old, and I certainly don't feel like it. I feel younger now than I did in my 30s. And so I'm really, really happy to be here, to have learned all the experiences that I've had. Everything has added more to the possibilities. Everything that I've learned through my life experiences, through illness, through loss, through divorce, through just every aspect of my life has contributed something to the qualities that I bring. But the most important thing for any healer is to be humble, to not see yourself as the big wig or the top of the tree, or come and see me because I'm a great healer. You're the great healer. And I'm interested in speaking to other therapists who believe that, who believe their clients have the capacity to heal themselves. Therapists who want to expand their practice, who want to reach out and who want to really deepen their knowledge in the field of energy medicine from a medical and scientific background, from a Chinese medicine background, from a place of intuition, of personal quality. So we have some places coming up in our mentorship program. We keep the numbers small because the whole point of a mentorship program is to feel mentored. I want to know my students. I want to get to know people over the year. And we keep in touch afterwards as well through an alumni program. We have weekly lives. We have a lot of recorded modules, of almost 50 hours of pre-recorded modules. The gift of COVID to the world of ACMOS method and energy medicine was the gift of time to develop training at a much deeper and profound depth than we have ever taught it before, and that we ever had time to teach it face to face. I had time to develop and to connect the anatomy, the physiology, the Chinese medicine with the energetics. And I think that's something very special. It's unique. We give our students lifetime access to their material. So you have a year of mentoring and you get access to the lives and to the pre-recorded sessions and to all the manuals and the protocols and the procedures. Everything is available to you for lifetime. So it's a one-time purchase, and you're becoming part of a community, part of something really, really special. So if that sounds like something you'd like to be involved with, and you've got the time and the commitment and the enthusiasm, that's really important, and the energy to come on board a program that will help you transform not only the lives of your clients, but transform your own life, then get in touch. Make contact with us and have a chat. Come along, we invite you to come along free to one of our healing sessions. This is a new venture, but given the circumstances where the sun is in a period of heat and yang energy, it does affect everyone. And so we found that we've been able to run healing sessions for groups, which is something I hadn't done until recently. And the feedback we're getting is great. So lots of new ways to expand your practice, to reach more people. That's what motivates me. My job is to share the message and the skills that I learned from my mentor, Dr. Rennie Nakashian, and that I've learned over 40 years as a health professional, and that I've learned over almost 60 years as a human. We even put some of this info in a book earlier in the year. Now this book is really a manual for using the Lecker antenna. It's about putting it into action in a very, very practical way. But it does introduce my sort of philosophy on energy medicine and the basis of resonance at the start. So there's lots of info in there. If you're interested and you'd like to know more, this book is available on Amazon. That can be the first toe in the water. The Lecker antenna, the most useful thing I have ever bought in my life. And so now I have probably about 6 antennas around the house. And when I go on holiday, then I'm able to support my clients using a thing called a broadcast with the antenna if I'm not able to help them at that point in time. Now, I do teach my clients resilience, and my aim is to bring their energy up to a level where they're as resilient as possible so that they can look after themselves, so their bodies operate efficiently. Nobody talks about efficiency of the body when they talk about energy medicine, but that's what we're dealing with. Yin and yang, fast and slow. Yang energy, very hot, fast and radiant. Yin energy, slow, calming, nurturing, anti-inflammatory. So when we look at tuning the body's energy with something like this, whether you do it for yourself, which you can do with an antenna and this handbook, or we have a course that can teach you to do this process for yourself. You can balance the energy in your rooms, in your home. You can look at the quality of supplements that you take. You can look at the quality of your own energetics. Are you connected If you're connected with the cosmic force, you have enough yang energy. Your speed is fast enough. If you're connected with the earth energy, that speed is not too fast. You have enough control. Yin energy is collecting in nature and yang energy is pushing out in nature. And so we're always living in a balance of the two. You probably know some people who tend to run hot. They'll be emotionally hot, so they might be quick to anger. They might be reactive. But they might also be very jolly and happy people. They might be reddish in the face or have pain or swelling. That's excess yang. Or they might just simply have a fantastic zest for life. Those people are more yangy in nature. Or you might know some very quiet, contemplative people. People that you like to be near because they're very calming and soothing. Because they give off that inner ambience of connectedness. And those are the people with a strong earth connection. But if it's out of balance and it becomes too strong, then those people can become sad or cold or distant or disconnected. So energy balancing is keeping that balance, that calibration between the hot and the cold, the fast and the slow. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to work. It really is. And, I'm constantly in awe of the information that people give me when I can translate it through the antenna and the protocols. This is the key. The key that unlocks the hidden information in our body in relation to our health and well-being. When you have a key, you can open a door. The simplest, this is the master key to the big front door. If you want to dive deeper into the method, then we have a whole set of keys and we can funnel down and get into more specific issues. But each issue that we open releases old energy. It allows it to get out and to clear. And it gives us the chance to strengthen and to really, really build up someone's resilience by giving them targeted, specific, energetic information exactly where it's needed in their body to create a change, to create a shift. So, exciting times. The world is a-changing. And sadly, at this point in human history, there are more people than ever needing help. The services that are needed for some people are overwhelmed. It's difficult here to get an appointment with a GP because the services are simply snowed under. So people are looking for help and they're looking for innovative new ways to make change in the way that they manage their own health. Wouldn't you like to help them? In the text below, there's a link where you can make an appointment to speak to me one-on-one. So we can have a chat about where this fits for you, or you might just want to have a little bit of a browse on my website. Now, I wasn't organised enough to have that come up on the screen because I'm a little bit of a tech head, but that's not my profession. My profession is helping people to heal themselves and to translate what their body's been trying to say to them through their symptoms, to help them to take that stopper out and to release that trapped energy and let them move forwards in their life with more resilience, with better health, with more well-being, feeling more connected, feeling more like themselves. If I was a total tech head, I'd have my website up there, but it's called www.energymedicinetraining.com. Have a look out for it, have a little browse. If something about this talk has resonated with you, and resonance is what we're talking about. ACMOS is a resonance-based system of energy medicine. It's very specific, it's very accurate, and it is just phenomenal. It changed my life and it could change yours too. Thank you for your time today, and I look forward to speaking to some of you when the time is right. The time is now. Energy medicine is filling a place where there has been a void in human connectedness, human contact, well-being of mind, body, and spirit. Take care.